Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Surfer's Journey. Today's episode is all about how to surf from a beginner level all the way to an intermediate level. And it's quite a complicated topic, but I've managed to break it down into 5 key steps for you to learn. Now, some of you might choose to jump in at step 1, while others of you might choose to jump in at steps 4 or 5. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe now so you can stay up to date with all of my latest videos and tutorials. But for now, let's get into today's lesson. Step 1 is all about going big. Go big with your surfboard choice when you're learning how to surf. For me, I'm 5'8", and my longboard is an 8-foot longboard that comes in at about 60 litres. If you're taller than me, then go longer. Go for a 9-foot or even a 10-foot longboard. The wider, the longer, and the thicker and flatter a surfboard is, generally this makes things much easier when you're learning. It gives you a more stable platform to stand on, but it also makes paddling so much easier, meaning that you can catch more waves and get more repetition when you start practicing how to catch a wave and how to pop up.
If you are taller than me, don't think that an 8-foot longboard won't be appropriate for you. I've had a mate of mine who is about 6 foot and he weighs about 20 kilos more than me, and he's surfed this longboard before and had lots of success. The material that a surfboard is made from will also play a part in what kind of board you get. For example, you could get a fiberglass board like this one here, or you could choose to get a foam board. Now, the benefits to a foam board is that if it hits you, it won't cause as much damage. And this is a very popular choice amongst learner surfers out there.
Step 2 is all about where to actually go once you get your longboard and you want to go out into the water and catch a wave. We want to go generally into waist deep water. We don't need to be any deeper than that. And what we're looking for are these whitewater waves which are broken. That's what we want. They're easy to catch and they're much more forgiving, and it's perfect for learning how to catch a wave as number 1, and number 2, learning how to pop up.
Being in waist-deep water like this makes life so much easier for a learner surfer. You can easily navigate the waves by lifting up the nose of the board and letting them go underneath. And from this position, we can easily catch the whitewater waves. And what we're looking for is that once a wave has broken, you can see this whitewater foamy stuff. Well, that's what we want to catch. You can see here that being in waist deep water gives my mate plenty of time to turn around, face the beach, jump on the board, find his perfect paddling position, and then generate some speed to catch that wave. Initially, you may choose to catch waves on your belly just to get comfortable, but when you're ready, pop up to your feet. And we're looking to do this in one clean movement.
Step 3 is all about catching unbroken waves. But how do you know when you're actually ready to venture out the back and catch an unbroken wave? Well, when you can consistently catch whitewater waves and you're happy popping up and going straight on those whitewater waves, well, once you're comfortable with that, then it's time to have a look at catching an unbroken wave.
Now, to get out the back is a journey and an adventure in itself. And if you're looking for some skills to use to get out there, I'll post a link in the comments below to show you. And once we're out the back, we're looking to catch an unbroken wave like this. We're going to have to paddle harder and for longer now to get onto these waves. And once I'm up and riding, we want to try and go along the wave. And to make this process easier, we simply paddle in on an angle. So instead of having our surfboard facing the beach, we're going to have it on a slight angle, almost 45 degrees, facing along the wave in the direction that we want to travel. And once you're comfortable riding along a wave, you might choose to start making small changes in direction.
This is lit.
You can see here that I'm just slowly getting used to transitioning my weight from my heels to my toes and back and forth.
Step number 4 is all about how to turn your surfboard and where you actually start with that process. Once you can catch an unbroken wave confidently and consistently and ride along that wave, well, the next step is to start turning your surfboard. Let's have a closer look at how you actually do that.
Initially, when we're learning how to turn, we want to make small direction changes slowly. To change your direction on a wave, you simply look and point to where you want to go. In this example here, you can see that I've popped up and I'm just about to turn. So to do this, I'm going to look, I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to lean. And you can see that I'm slightly compressed in this position. Now, as I come out of this turn, as my weight's transitioned, I'm then going to extend my body. And then to complete the maneuver, I simply look back and point back as I go to the other direction. And then you just repeat the process. You look, you rotate, and you lean, and you compress. And as you come out of turns, you extend a little bit. And you just repeat this process to complete the turn that you're aiming for. As you start to get comfortable with your turns, you can start to make them go for longer. So you can see here that I'm going to start to extend and lengthen out my turns by going all the way back to the foam. Now, there are many maneuvers that a surfer can perform, but for this level, we're just going to focus on doing simple carves, and that's where it all starts, just leaning to change direction from right to left and left to right.
Start it up.
When surfers are learning how to turn on a wave, generally their approach will be more horizontal. But as you start to improve, you want to try and make things a little bit more vertical.
Step number 5 is all about advancing your equipment, and the reason you would consider doing that is because you want your turns to become more aggressive and more critical. Now, of course, you can still do turns on a longboard, and you may choose to surf a longboard for your whole surfing career. But generally speaking, going to a surfboard which is shorter, thinner, has more rocker, is going to be easier to turn, and it's going to allow you to perform those maneuvers in more critical sections of the wave. Let's have a closer look at how advancing your equipment can help you advance your turns.
If you decide to advance your equipment, you're going to have a world of opportunity that awaits you. There are so many different surfboard designs, lengths, widths, thicknesses, rocker types, the bottom types. You just need to do a lot of research to see what kind of board suits you. Think about what your goals from surfing are and the type of surfing that you want to try and perform. Advancing your equipment makes boards more responsive and more sensitive underfoot, and that's perfect for when you're at a level where you can control that. It means you can turn faster and sharper, and you can start to perform more advanced maneuvers. Remember how some of those turns I was performing before were longer and drawn out? Well, you may choose to do that depending on the section that you're given, but by advancing your equipment, you allow yourself to perform sharper turns as well, and it gives you the ability to slide the tail like this. My advice to anyone who's looking at advancing their equipment would be to sample as many different designs as you can. Now, obviously we're not made of money and we can't just go out and buy 10 different boards straight off the shelf. But what we can do is look for second-hand boards. This makes it a lot cheaper and a lot more accessible to sample a whole range of different designs. And I would also recommend having a chat with your local shaper. They can help suggest lengths, thicknesses, volume, rocker type, concave type, board type for your level and your wave type that you surf.
Guys, thanks for watching the video today. I hope that now you understand how you can get from a beginner level surfer all the way to an intermediate level surfer. There are some key steps along the way and a couple of tricks and tips to help get you there a little bit quicker. Remember to like the channel and comment below to let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Catch you in the water, guys.